Hi guys, well, as I said, I'm going to be talking about saving systems all this week, so this is the final video that I'm going to do about it. If you've been looking on the page, then you'll see that I did a video about penny jars. That was one of the systems I talked about for saving. I also talked about the £5 a week, or sometimes it can start at £1 a week and then you just increase it every month. And in this final video I'm going to talk about another two systems really. And the whole point of me doing these videos about the different saving systems is because many times when people are in debt, the idea of saving is just like, well, they think, well, I can't save any money because I'm already in debt. I've got money to pay out, so I can't afford to put anything away. I'm already struggling. And what I want people to kind of get used to the idea of is that whenever you're in a bad situation, that could be with money, that could be with relationships, that could be with anything, if you don't make changes, then things will never change, and then things will just remain the same. And although it might seem like a bit extreme to say, well, you've got to save, because lots of people will tell you you've just got to focus on paying off your debt, or other people will say, you know, don't worry about the debt, just kind of put it out the back of your mind or whatever. My feeling is that you have to tackle everything at the same time. You have to tackle paying off the debt, you have to tackle your psychology and mindset around money, and you also have to put saving systems in place so that you can feel like you're getting somewhere. So the final system I want to talk about, and I've brought it with me as usual, I look like a mad person in the park, but I've got this petty cash tin. This is my tin. Now, when people think of petty cash, they always think about businesses, and as a business owner I do keep different saving systems, but that is more towards the business. But this is for people who are in debt, and this is personal. So the money jars, we've talked about the savings by putting money away. Now petty cash, what the reason that system is there for is for you. Everyone knows that if you've got money in sight and you've got easy access to money, you're going to use it. So you have to trick your brain into kind of knowing that some money is not to be touched and some money can be touched. So in my petty cash tin at the moment, there's around about £20. Now what I do is I don't have any guidelines for what amount of money I put in there, but my brain tells me that that money is to be used. So what that means is today, for example, it's my nephew's birthday tomorrow, so I'll dip into my petty cash tin and I've bought a card and I've bought a present. That's why it's down to £20, but I know that money's to be used. So what happens there is the psychology behind it is that you don't feel guilt for spending, because you know that money is for spending. So you know in a business, when they have a petty cash tin, that money is for staff to go to if they need to buy like stamps or they need to buy the things here and there. No one questions, oh, you shouldn't take that money out, or that money's got to stay where it is. It's to be used. So that's the way you've got to use it, is try and put £1, £2, £3, just throw money into your petty cash tin, but make sure your brain knows that you can spend that on things that you need. It's there as like a kind of emergency, but not really, it's just to be spent. So then you're going to have your £5 jars or whatever you're putting in each week. That's money not to be touched. You're going to have your penny jars, which is also throwing in all your change, and you're not going to think about that, but by the end of the year you're going to work out what you've got, how much money you've saved. And then this third system is freedom money, so you put it in there, the petty cash, you spend it. So the fourth and final system I want to talk about, because I also did an article on the envelope system of saving, which you can find that article on this page. So the fourth and final system that I'm going to be talking about this week to end off is emergency savings, but doing it using an electronic account. So most banks will give you something called e-savings. I know that with my bank, Lloyds Bank, they do that. So what it is that you can transfer money from your current account or from any other place really into your e-savings, it's called, and it just means electronic savings. Now the negative thing about it is that you can see how much money is going to that account, and the temptation, which is what I've done previously, is to transfer the money back. So it's about discipline again. It's a tough one because you will probably slip up sometimes, and you will say, well, I've got £50 now in my e-savings account, so I'm going to transfer that or I'm going to spend it. But you have to train your mind. It's all of these tips that I'm giving you, but also just in general in life, you have to learn to work on your discipline. any like method that you use for, whether it's debts, relationships, jobs, if you're not disciplined and you don't train your mind, then you're always going to have this thing where you're just reacting, responding and just doing, you know, just spending money because it comes into your account. So what with the e-savings account, I use that, I just do it as a direct debit. So every single month I have between 20, 25, it's a standing order actually, I mess about with it. Some months, if I know I've got more money to spare, I'll transfer some into there. So what I've started doing, and I'm speaking as someone who's been in debt previously, I'll be doing my debt story at some point. I was in lots of debt, you know, I had every payday loan going, I had doorstop loans, I had credit cards. So I'm not someone that's speaking as an expert, meaning that I've never been through it. I've been through this. I've had to train my mind. The biggest change that has been made to my financial habits is through changing my mindset, reading about stuff, being more disciplined, using cash, getting rid of my credit cards. I've done a video, cut up the cards. So with the e-savings account, I see that the balance is going up, but I treat it as another standing order or direct debit. I don't think I'm going to spend it. I used to keep dipping into it, but now I don't touch it. I've got other savings accounts, long-term savings. Sorry, my hair's I don't know what's going on with my hair, to be fair. So I've got all these systems, the jar, the £5 a week, the petty cash, which I can access, the e-savings, I've got long-term savings, which I'm not going to touch, and I've also got an ISA. So what you have to do is, even if you're only putting £1, think about it guys, even if you're only putting £1 into each of these things, or £5 or whatever you're putting in, it's about kind of that feeling of at least I'm working towards something. It's not just about the debts all the time. When you've got debts, if all you're doing is paying those debts off, you're always feeling in this sort of like sad, distressed state, because you're never paying off enough and you always just see the balance going down a little bit. But when you're saving, it lifts you a little bit, it gives you that bit of joy, because you know you're working towards having more money than you had yesterday. Even if it's just £5 in that jar, at least you can see you've got £5 more than you had the day before. So that's really all I want to talk about. Continue to sort of look out for articles, for information. I'm going to be sharing videos that I find useful on YouTube from other like YouTubers. There are lots of people out there that give money advice, so what I would say is there's no reason that you can't like gather the information. There's plenty of books out there as well, so just keep learning, keep doing what you're doing, and don't feel guilty, or don't like look in the past. Everyone's made mistakes when it comes to money, that's my feeling. So hopefully this video has been useful for you. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy your day, and share this video if you think someone else will find it useful. Maybe there's someone out there that will find it of use. Thank you for watching, take care, bye.